What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Sesh. I'm E-Rock.
I'm G.
Tony Lit in the house.
Yes, sir. We're here with the man of many hats. Another man of many hats. We got Ruben Torres from Love Thy Neighbor in the house today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Podcaster. Man of many hats.
Where shall we start? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming, first of all. So, where did the passion come from to start helping people out? I remember us when we were kids and we weren't helping people out.
We're asking for help.
We're asking for help.
We're asking for it. That's good.
So yeah, so you know, like where we grew up, it's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, we grew up either running from cops, not trying to talk to cops, and now here I am working alongside them and trying to fix some situations and just kind of the way they react to our community and how we react to them, and just had to change the shift of the mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, if you're gonna try to make a change, you got to try to be a change as well. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So, you know, it was in 2010, you know, I'd already done a bunch of stuff in the entertainment industry and all that stuff. But in 2010, I was in the middle of like my divorce situation. I went through like a depression and I was partying it up. And I just fell back into being who I used to be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I'm like, man, who do I think I am? My little brother knew some guys down in Tijuana, and my little brother Charlie. Yeah. And my homie Jason Page was doing this documentary on human trafficking. Oh, wow. So we're like, you know what? Let's go interview these guys down in TJ. Yeah. I went down there working on this film project with them, and my brother knew this guy. And then they asked him, like, hey, man, what do you want us to bring you next time we come down, you know, to TJ? And so homie's about as tall as me, so I know he ain't, like, playing ball, but he was like, man, can you bring me a basketball? So I was like, dude, yeah, man, but what do you add? Like, I know you ain't playing ball, so what do you need basketball for, homie? Like, and he's like, no, man, right around the corner, there's, you know, basketball courts, but the kids can never play. Nobody's got anything to play with, whatever. Wow. And so in my mind, I'm just thinking, like, dude, there's this guy that most people would count, like, they would count him out, like this dude's no good or whatever, but, like, you know, he was deported from LA. He was selling dope, and he's down there, and he was selling dope, like, while we were there, you know what I'm saying, in front of us. And so some people would look down on him. But yet here he was
thinking about the kids,
thinking about helping kids.
Right.
And it took a guy like that to plant the seed in me. And here I am calling myself a believer, like, oh, you're a Christian or whatever, you know. And I'm sitting here like, but that's the dude that implanted the seed in me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sparked the flame.
And so, you know, God can use anyone, man. And so God used that dude to plant the seed. And so I was like, bro, like, give us a couple weeks and we'll come back. And we'll bring all kinds of stuff. Wow. And at the time, I was just talking out of my neck because I'd never done anything like that. You know? So, a couple of weeks went by. It just so happened that it was close to Christmas time. Yep. And so I'd reached out to the homies from Nitty's. When they had the shop on Broadway. Yep. And I had just done something with Flacco right there. And I was like, yo, like, can we borrow your storefront to like collect toys?
I remember that. I remember the first event was at the tattoo shop right there. And I brought basketballs that day.
That's right.
I did.
Yeah, for the school. Bro.
Yeah, for the school. Yeah.
And that's the seed that planted it all, man. And since then, it's turned into so much more. You know, like we're talking earlier, like we're able to go into the prisons. Right. We've done, you know, everything from art shows. We've done gone into all the shelters and the orphanages throughout TJ. Did the old folks home down in National City, like all the stuff pretty much that Jesus was saying, like, you know, hey, when I was sick, you came to see me. When I was thirsty, you brought me water. And just the whole checklist of it. It's like, dude, we've done all that.
That's great.
You know, and so it was just it was an honor to be able to like to look back at like the 16 years of doing what we did to be like, all right, like what's next?
What's next?
Like, what do you got going for me now?
Yeah.
Let me ask you if I can. Is a guy that sparked that idea, is he still alive? Have you? Okay.
So we did several years with him. So we did a couple years right there in Tijuana it was close to Playas. And then he moved down like closer to Rosarito to Primo Tapia. We followed him down there, and then came to the U.S. and he's here somewhere.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So now he's here, and I haven't connected with him. I haven't seen him since he came across. I think he's like, I don't know.
Not in San Diego?
No, he's not in San Diego.
Okay.
By any chance, does he know that he was the one that kind of
yeah,
that's great, man.
And so, so like, if you ever look through my social media or my videos or whatever, I always hold the basketball, and it always
the
reminds
meaning
me
of
of
it.
like,
That's
dude,
a big meaning
that's
behind
where
it.
it started.
That's where it started, yeah.
And so I have a couple pictures with him, both of us holding the basketball, and that's just symbolic of like, this is
very much so.
what it was. Just
that'd be a great T-shirt on the next one too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
holding the ball like that.
Holding the ball like that, and that'd be great.
People ask too because they're like, well, what's Ruben doing with the ball? Like, that dude ain't athletic.
Yeah.
What does that dude doing with the ball?
What I was going to say is that'd be like a different kind of championship shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
With the basketball too,
It really
different
is.
champions of a different, different sport
meaning.
kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
Good personal meaning,
In our
It
office, like vice president, like she had just a basketball, but like encased,
Right.
plastic case.
Yeah.
And so we just got a basketball there to kind of just remind us of
Nice.
where it started.
We started,
that's
started
great,
with a basketball.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and then 16 years later, huh? And then that's it.
Well, that's it for
the donation
toy
part.
drive.
The toy drive,
Part of it.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable being able to step back and say like, "Hey, you guys got this now."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's guys like we're talking about, like Ryan.
You build that
Anthony.
community up, right?
Yeah, and there's guys that are doing it. You know what I'm saying? Already, like, you know, I know Mitchie Slick does something. Like everybody's doing something.
Right.
You know, you see like Little Weirdo or whoever, like in South San Diego, you see people
in the different
doing
parts
toy
of the communities
drives,
doing stuff. Yeah.
And you know, and I just pray that, you know, Love Thy Neighbor impacted people to be able to like motivate them to do
that.
something,
Right.
inspired them,
Start their own.
Exactly.
You know.
And that's great, man. Like I said, it's a movement you guys have.
Yeah,
You know, and one sparks up the idea, and before you know, they start going like this, bro, and circulating. And it snowballs in effect, man. And that's great things that you guys, you know what I'm saying?
There's something in the water here in South San Diego,
Yeah.
man. Right.
True.
That's it, man.
It blends it, but you know, we've all try to like continue to support one another, even though everybody's got other stuff
Your
going
ventures,
on.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, you know, there's some stuff that, like what we were talking about earlier, like I can't really like dip my toe into that, but I'll support from a distance, whatever I can do.
Right.
Yeah.
But but you know, I mean, just because like there's certain things I
The reputation you build for yourself as far,
and there's certain things like I gotta personally stay away from because I know I know my downfall. I know how I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for my own good.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, man, dude, it's San Diego's or South San Diego for sure is a tight knit community.
Yeah.
If you think about just the impact that this neighborhood right over here has had on you know, even globally, you know what I'm saying? Like
very much so.
But you know, you got MMA fighters that came out of here. You think of like, well, you know, us in Montgomery, you doing this.
Yeah.
You know, what we're doing musically back in the day, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you got the Legion of Doom that came out of here that pioneered pretty much San Diego hip hop, you know, and opened up the doors for everyone else to do stuff.
This few square miles, man, had a big impact on a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
And everything. A lot of stuff, sports.
Yeah.
You had Rey Mysterio that came out of Montgomery. You got POD that came out of Montgomery, you know, and it's like they took SD 619 1904 like
they repped
to where it's a global thing, you know what I'm saying?
They didn't forget about it, man. That's one thing. Yeah.
You know, like for Ray to name his signature move, the
619,
you know, you know, Wov was telling me a story a long time ago, like how they went to like Italy and he has like 619 tatted on his leg. And so, like, kids were running out, like, 619, 619.
Wow,
you know, and he's like, yeah, 619.
Right.
You know, but they were tripping because it was like a Rey Mysterio thing, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
For them, you know what I'm saying? And so POD's barely coming up. And it's like, what? But, like, dude, I don't think anyone has, like, represented their city more than those two guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, POD and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
like, globally, I'm just saying.
No, definitely.
I
totally agree.
Because you got other bands.
And they really didn't do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got.
It's like, we're out of San Diego, but it's not like, hey, we're rapping it. Got the gear on.
Yeah.
Got the whole, you know, like the whole, you know, like we're natives here.
But you're doing it in Russia, or you're doing it in Japan, or you're doing it in some other country, like you know, you never even think you'll be at, you know.
And I've seen you guys go a long way. Have you been to Japan?
I haven't been to Japan.
Oh man,
you can invite me. I'm down.
I don't know if I'd be able to make it, but I would love to go there. I mean, my friend Tammy just came back from Japan.
He's gonna have to sponsor a Japan trip.
No,
we'll go live from there.
Right? Yeah, I heard there's some great vibe out there, man. Great stuff. And I see Tribal out there doing their thing.
Yeah,
you know
Tribal has always been a global.
Yeah, that's another. But it's not for South San Diego. It was another San Diego brand that went global.
Think about it. I mean, they had shoes called the 1904 and the 610. You know what I'm saying?
Really repped it, man.
And they really took not just like the city, but like the lifestyle of what South San Diego, Southern California took it global.
Yeah, and it just didn't impact San Diego. They were wearing that stuff. LA, like you said, SoCal, they're repping that brand, man, hard.
Definitely.
Tribal, like, you know, they've created like a whole movement, culture of it. And so, like, if anyone knows what they're doing, like Bobby knows what he's doing.
Man.
Bobby Tribal, shout out.
Shout out to those guys. Yeah, they've been doing it tough, and they've never lost a step. That's so basic.
They've been around 25 years or more, dude. At least 30 years.
It's hard
35 years,
and then not find ways to, like I said, level up in these times that change. You know what I mean? And if you can find that way, then you're successful. You can, like you've been doing, man. You and Sonny, everybody. You know, you guys got your names out there, and you even, you know, DJ Beto, all these guys, man. You guys got your statuses out there, you know, shaking and moving and doing things for the community. And no matter if it's a commercial, what I'm like, hey, there goes Ruben, there goes this. But you guys are doing something positive all the time, man. You know, bringing people together, and that's a great thing. Because, like you said, you know, last thing you want to do is mislead these kids to doing something wrong, man. We're trying to say, hey, man, be your community leader. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I try to do through the stuff that we do, and that's why, like, we've all kind of lived it, and we've done, like, I didn't get caught doing anything crazy, so I never went to prison. I didn't do jail time. I could have easily gotten caught for the stupidity and the stuff that we did.
You know
what I'm saying? But now it's like we learn from our mistakes, and so, you know, we've been doing this thing in the juvenile halls. We've been going in and like, you know, we donated some equipment, and there was another organization in there too, David's Harp, and so, like, there's a studio in there now. We helped build the recording studio.
I was going to mention
so
that.
It's like, you know, for us, and we go in, you know, all the time as well, and go speak to the youngsters, and, you know, if the opportunity presents itself, we get to share Jesus with them. And, and you know, it's something just different because, you know, it's something I wish I would have had when I was a kid. Like, nobody stepped up to say, let me mentor you, let me disciple you, let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me be the grown folk in your situation to show you, like, hey, I messed up here. I mean, back in the day, if you think about, like, the big homies, even in these neighborhoods right here, were, like, empowering these kids to do, like, stupidity.
They weren't teaching us to do it.
So it's like, you know, it's okay to be a different type of big homie. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to instill some positive stuff. And say, hey, man, let me talk to you about this. And, like, dude, when you go into the juvenile halls, man, you guys can all come and check out what we do. But when you go in, man, there's some kids that are still stuck on that mindset. But then there's some other kids that just want change. They're like, dude, I'm done with this.
They want somebody to believe in them. You know what I mean?
That's exactly the thing.
It is.
I worked with those kids for a while in the early 2000s. I worked with the juvenile court schools. So I know the mentality. Like you said, it's like you don't ever. It's a whole different ball game.
And when you can go in and you could understand, like, that mentality, and say, like, let me chance to go into the prisons. Like, I was really, like, I felt unqualified. So in the first time when I got invited into a prison, it was through Shocker and them, and so I was sitting there like, what do I got to tell these guys?
What kind of story?
Like I'm like, no, like, you know, and so I'm sitting there, like, talking to God about it. I'm like, Lord, like, dude, you open up these doors, so, like, what do you want me to do? Like, what do I got nothing.
As far as their world, you couldn't relate.
How am I gonna relate? How are they gonna understand me, or how am I gonna understand it?
Exactly.
And you know, it's kind of like one of those, like we'll get into the book thing, but in the book I talk about how, like, Moses was like, I'm not good with words, and he's like, dude, just go. I'll give you the words, or I'll send someone with you.
He said some guy came walking along. It was
Aaron. It was his brother. And he's like, as a matter of fact, he's on his way.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, well, if I'm not good with words and I don't know what I'm saying, like, and you're telling me just go and you're going to give me the words. So, man, like, my first time in, like, you know, I went with my homie Bo, and, dude, we're sitting, like, in that very first office, like, you know, where you walk in and check in, and, like, there was this lady, and she was, like, kind of, like, laughing at us, like, hey, it's your first time here, right? And we're like, yeah, man, how'd you know? She's like, because you're wearing out the concrete right here, dude. Like, you guys are all nervous.
Walking back and forth.
Yeah, it's like, you don't know what to expect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's
anxiousness,
like,
that anxiousness.
Yeah. And you walk in and it feels like a movie. You're just like, whoa, like, this is what? And so, like, we went to this gymnasium. And, yeah, you know, there's dudes there with rifles and whatever. They're guards. But, dude, I felt safe the whole time. I didn't, like, there's dudes in the corner, like, oh, here's the Asians, and here's the blacks, and here's Native American. Like, they're all, like, clicked up. But, like, I never felt, like,
threatened or anything.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was all love.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when they let me, they asked me to come in as a judge the first time to judge an art show. And then they're like, dude, they gave me the mic and they asked me to go up and share some words. And then they asked me to preach. And I was like, all right,
wow, okay.
Cool.
Wow.
So, like,
what prison was this one? Soledad?
Soledad.
Nice.
So we went to Soledad, I don't know how many times. Like,
we
were invited up in there. And then, I got a chance to go to Chocowat, with Dennis Martinez.
Okay.
So he goes around and he does a bunch of stuff too. But you know, it's just one of those things where you got to shift the mindset and like be like, dude, if God opened up the door for you to go and do that, then just go and then let him do the rest. You know what I'm saying? But even when you feel like you got nothing that you're gonna relate to these guys on, like, just find one thing to connect on, man. God will do the rest. Yeah. And dude, I made so many awesome connections there. Now some of these guys are out and they're doing big things.
Still reaching
dude.
out to you.
I stay connected with some of these guys,
great.
man. But like,
that's real good.
The way God works, man, it's a beautiful thing. And,
it is.
And don't ever count yourself out, because I felt like
counted out a few times. I think we've all done that.
I'm unqualified to go in and speak to these men. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it was like, dude, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just asking you to be present and just go. You know,
presence alone, captivated. And then your words,
it all come to you
when you got the opportunity to preach to them. You know, they instilled that. You know what I mean? And whether some kept it or not, they obviously gravitated towards.
What I'm gonna do right now is put you on the spot, G-Money. Put you on the spot because you do music. Yeah. And you know the production aspect of it. Yes. I'm gonna invite you into the juvenile hall. And we're gonna go into East Mesa. And you're going to show these kids. There's only one kid in there who knows how to run the board and how to do stuff. So I'm going to invite you in, man. If you can come in and just
be my pleasure.
That's dope.
Something, dude.
Heck yeah, man.
Cool. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So we'll set that up.
That'll be dope.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm very welcome. I mean, speechless.
Like Uno goes in there all the time, even without me now.
Yeah.
So like he brought in this guitar player, and he was in there like jamming out with the guys. There's a group of like all right. There's a group of like 8 of them that come in, and we even had like the last time we were there. I think I shared a video on it. It was just a quick little snippet, but. They did like a music competition. Yeah, that's cool. But the thing is, most of them are all they're all rappers.
Rappers,
right.
So like nobody's in there like really singing.
Yeah.
But
it brings a different mentality to them, though, right?
Yeah. Because now it's real and it's like
it's a purpose.
Purpose behind it.
Now I want to get out.
It keeps them out of trouble too. Yeah. You know, but because like everything we do is merit based when you go in there. So it's like, dude, you know, if you want to use the equipment, you got to be good for 2 weeks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, can't get into trouble. Don't mess with the admin. You know, do all this.
That's what I'm saying. It changes the mentality. Yeah. Because, like you said, the purpose is there now. It's like, wait, I want to be in the studio. I don't want to be there. Yeah. I'm going to have to change my mentality. Man. You know what I mean? So
the admin, they create, like, a heavyweight belt.
That's dope.
And so it's like the winner gets the belt for the year. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
That's cool. And so
that's really
they got
cool.
To the competition?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Right on. And so we invited a bunch of the public. And so... We usually bring in like lowriders and DJs and food trucks and all that stuff for the kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's real cool.
And even that, like that little mini festival, like you have to be well behaved for the first 3-4 weeks or whatever to be able to go to that event.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
nobody wants to miss out on it, so they're like, hey,
So it changes the mindset of being in there, being well behaved, but also like no one's getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing for the staff.
For everybody, for staff,
And so we go in there, they get to perform, in front of that audience too. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And so we're in there, man. Like so we had Sonny from POD, Javier the X-Man came, and so we had people like there was these influencers that came in from LA too, the guys from Chicano Hollywood. There's that dude Francisco and his wife or whatever, like. They're like huge TikTokers, like 2 million views or whatever, followers on TikTok. Yeah. But they came down.
Okay.
And so they got to sit in there and like,
tripped out.
What are you guys doing in here?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy,
and so like we want to be able to take a program like that and like take it national. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be great.
To other institutions.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And so right now I'm trying to find like investors, or trying to find like donors that'll help me create a documentary. So that we can like
present
it. You mean that?
Present it and just take
the interest.
Take it national. You know what I'm saying?
Because we're working with kids. I work with kids for a long time. It's like it's almost like a team where one person, he gets the idea, we call him the captain. He'll keep everybody else in line. As far as like, hey, I want to use the equipment, but this guy's messing up. All right, so they use like the team will get him, hey, get in line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we did that when I worked at court schools. It was like one of those things where he messes up, he's gonna mess it up for everybody. So the kids kind of govern themselves as far as that aspect. It's been a lot easier for me.
Right.
And you see the guys in there, like you see the level of leadership. And dude, there's some guys in there that aren't even involved in music that are straight leaders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like, they gravitate to you, they just want to learn and soak it up.
Right.
And so, I got guys like Kuya and Joey.
Oh yeah, Kuya, I remember Kuya, yeah, shout out.
And like even like Ray Riley went in there with us and Joey Lucero. Just guys that go in all the time and just love on these guys.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's great.
And so you sit with Joey or Kuya, it's like they don't just teach you about tattooing because they bring their tattoo equipment.
Oh yeah.
And so they do the fake skin.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So they trace stuff on there and they show you how to tattoo while you're there. But it's like, dude, if you're gonna sit with Kuya, you're not just getting a tattoo lesson.
You're getting a lesson.
Dude, he's driving you like into like. So what are you doing in here? You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do when you get out?
Right.
And like
he's working your mind. He's picking your mind. He's picking your mind definitely.
And because
all those guys don't get that chance to do so. Nobody's picked their mind yet. That's why they're in situations they're in.
And and they drive you to like, hey man, if you're serious about it, like you can come to our tattoo shop and you can apprentice. But we're going to teach you business. We're going to teach you life skills. We're going to teach you.
And then it's going to be on your thing. If you mess it up, then that's like anybody else. You're gone. Yeah.
And so we try to do things a little different.
That's great though.
And those are the same guys that I like. I build life with. And we do these men's retreats and we do other stuff like throughout the year to where like we try to build up these guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
So the men retreats, are they're ex-cons? Are they maybe
most of them, man? So it's a little walk. Like everyone has different walks of life. Like we got cops that come.
Okay, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
I try to only invite like maybe one or maybe two pastors at the most.
Okay.
Because I try not to do it like a church thing. It's not. It's not a church thing.
You don't want to make it right.
It's just a bunch of broken men trying to be better men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better husband. I want to just be a better man all around.
That's great move.
So it's we call it the reset. So you just go to hit the reset button on your life, on your spiritual walk with the Lord, and just kind of like, like I need this. And a lot of it is more too is like I need to know that someone else is going through what I'm going through.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And so you can sit
share
there
the experience.
quiet.
Share the experience.
You can sit there quiet the whole time, and at the end of it, you're like,
wow.
Like I didn't know.
Exactly.
I felt alone the whole time, but I didn't know someone else was going through it.
You guys are sharing the same thing I'm going through, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool, man, because we try not to make it to where it's like
a forceful situation for people to feel like, I got to be.
It's organic. Yes. Everything's organic. So we'll be sitting there, and then like all of a sudden we'll be like, "Yo, E-Rock, just come up here and share a little bit about your." And E-Rock's like, "Well, I'm not a preacher. I'm not whatever." It's like, don't matter, man. Like, come up here because someone's gonna connect with your story.
Someone will.
So like we try to open it up, but we have our free time or whatever. Like, they have a shooting range there, so everyone brings their equipment.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So
that's
like
cool,
everyone's building their ARs out there or whatever, and so like they have a shooting range. We can do that. And this last time it rained, so some of the homies brought like their tattoo equipment, so some of the guys are getting like tatted up.
Bro.
All right.
Yeah,
and then Memo brought the heat press, so like we're making the connection shirts and all that stuff right there.
That's real
so
cool.
It was like, dude, we have a break time to where it's not, you're not being
constantly just doing this.
Yeah.
Dude, work in different ways and different energy, right? For everybody to feel like, hey, I like being here.
And you're connecting with all new guys.
That's great, man.
So I was saying like we had a situation where it was like one of the homies that used to kind of run with some of the cartel homies and all that.
Right.
And so we had a cop who was there that he runs like the narcotics, San Diego undercover,
People
and
that
so,
wouldn't naturally be in the same.
Yes, they wouldn't be in the same room unless they're being interviewed, interrogated. Yeah. But it was like they naturally connected, and then like that year we did kind of like the buddy system too, where we're like, hey dude, pick a name out of a hat, and that dude's gonna be like your battle buddy while you're here,
Right.
And then exchange numbers and connect with them outside of here. And it was cool because it was those two guys picked each other.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And, that was meant to be.
Great. Yeah, right.
And it was great. Like, dude, you just never know like what it is. And it's all walks of life, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's some guys who don't know the Lord, and there's some guys who've been,
sharing
walking with the Lord, and some guys who are just there to figure out what's next for
what's going on.
Yeah, that's great though. That's good. And how long have you been doing this reset for?
We just did 3 years, so this year will be our 4th year. It'll be in October. Nice. So you guys do feel free, man. If you guys want to come through,
thank you.
We have like once a month, once a year,
once a year, or is it twice?
Once a year.
Okay.
For the actual retreat.
Right.
But kind of throughout the year, what we do is like last year we rented out like a private shooting range.
Okay.
And so we had like 40, 50 guys that came out. We had a barbecue, and so the homie Kuya did like a quick little devotional, kind of more on like, hey, how do you spend your time?
Right.
And like, dude, you could be doing things, to help others or things for the Lord or whatever.
Exactly.
So how do you spend your time? Is it on social media? Is it this? Like, there's a lot of guys that we know that like, you struggle with porn. And it's like, dude, are you giving most of your time to porn, or are you out trying to help improve yourself or whatever it is? You know what I'm saying? Or get into scripture or whatever. And so, there's a lot of unspoken stuff that like you get to talk about. But so we'll do like a dinner, and so like we did one called the Sit Down, and it was at the Imperial Steakhouse. So it just felt gangster. Remember, like back in the day when they had the butcher shop, so it was a vibe like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like we rented out that whole back room. We just did a dinner back there, like a prime rib dinner, and then I had the homie Mark Porter. He's a pastor, but he's all blasted up, all tatted it everywhere, and like dude's buff, whatever, and he's like my main go-to guy. Like, hey dude, you're kind of like the pastor of this thing. And dude, he's just on point with like hits home runs every time. But we did like a little exercise where I had this Navy chief come in, and he did this exercise with one of the young homies. And so it's like we learned something through it as well, and it's like character building. And there was one guy who had never been to any of our stuff, man, and he just broke down. He was like, dude, my wife just filed for divorce and I'm a mess and whatever. And he was like, dude, there was another guy who just went through that. You're able to find like a support system.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we were able to just kind of get him in the middle. Everyone prayed for him.
I tell you what, it takes a bigger person to even step foot into something like that, to be vulnerable and kind of, you know what I mean, like put your business out there without feeling like, well, I'm humiliating.
The vulnerable, that's the big thing, man. To put yourself out there, to be like that, man. That takes a lot.
But to have people embrace you, like, bro, don't worry about it. Come on in, and you guys are doing a great job by doing that, man. You don't realize how many people you guys are probably saving lives mentally wise,
bro. Like I had
from like actually hurting themselves and harming themselves in situations.
I had one of the wives from, it was 2 years ago. She had like posted like a thing on Facebook or whatever, just saying, hey, my husband just got back from this men's retreat, and it's like literally like changed his life, changed our marriage.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, it's nothing we did. It's just going there and just letting the Holy Spirit just take over. You
provided it though, man. So it should feel great about that though, right?
Dude, if I can quit everything I'm doing and just concentrate on doing that, I would do that.
Oh well, that's great.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
It goes to show your humanity, man, and the way you are. You're genuine.
Bro, it changed my life. Like I can tell you that I want to say it was like 8-9 years ago, or something, maybe like 9 years ago. South Bay Mike, Tattoo Mike, he had invited me to a men's retreat that his church was having.
Okay.
And so me and Paco went, and so we go, and me and Paco were sitting outside on this little like patio area, and I'm just like looking out like into the thing, and I was like, bro, how dope would it be if like we just did something like this but for the homies,
right?
Like if we just, and so I think it was maybe like 6 years later, where I actually like
doing it,
put it together. Where I was like,
though,
you know what, I'm just gonna pull the trigger on this thing. Like we need to do this.
That's great.
And so, so my first expectation of it was like, oh, it's gonna be the homies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I invited you, I invited Shocker, I invited everybody who I thought should have been there.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
And then I got there and like, you know, I needed to have like, I think it was 25, 30 guys like for the contract. And so I look out into the audience and I'm like, this isn't even the guys that I wanted to be here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, dude, not to feel whack about it, but I'm like, my intention was for my homies. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Sonny was there for the first one, and I think the Maui was there, and you know, like, I had some of my homies, like Paco was there, but it was like I wanted everybody, like I wanted you, I wanted Shocker, I wanted like everybody, like Frankie, everybody that we grew up with, to be there. That was my first initial intention, but no, man, like God had chosen who he wanted to be there.
That's what it is.
And dude, it's grown ever since. And so leaving that place, I was there with my cousin Gary, and like we're driving away, and I just felt like, dude, if everything was to end right now, like if we're in an accident and I died right now, like I'd die happy, because I felt like I did what God asked me to do.
You accomplished your mission.
Yeah. God asked me to do that, and I did that. And through that, I believe lives were changed, and that was it. Like I'm cool with it. But I would drop everything else.
Some people are more rich in life with that, man. Just being able to,
it's different than like, bro, like
enrichment in your soul.
You can have good sex, you can smoke the best weed, you can hit the lottery, there's so many things you could do to
euphoria-wise, right?
In your body, in your flesh, you're like, dude, this is satisfying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when God asks you to do something and you do that thing, and out of that obedience, something changed, that is the most fulfilling thing that you could ever feel, dude. Like pressured,
right?
You know, but I think I was even pressuring you a couple months ago. I'm like, dude, you got to come to this thing because I want you to feel what I felt.
Right.
I want you to experience what I experienced. You know, and it's like, it's not that I'm trying to like peer pressure anybody and things, but I am at the same time, because I'm like, dude, like,
you want it so bad.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, come experience what I experienced.
Yeah.
And that's how we all do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we do.
Like, you know, whatever. If we talk about an event that we went to, like, you know, you're just like, dude, I just went to this, whatever.
Or like a restaurant we're talking about right now. We got to go to that restaurant. You got to go here.
Whatever it is. Like, you want to tell other people about it so they can experience it. And so that's what I went through with this men's retreat, you know. And it's like, man, just surrender for a couple days and don't think about anything else except letting God do what he does. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, if you don't feel it, then cool, then you lost nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you went there and you let God work on your heart and do whatever, then you gain the whole world, bro.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I'm saying? And it's because those seeds that are planted from there, like you're gonna go and you're gonna tell the little homie about it. You're gonna go and you're gonna change your relationship with your kids, relationship with your wife, with your family, with your parents, with your everything changes, bro. You know. And so it's like, how can I not want to tell people?
To come and feel what I felt, right? Exactly.
And so,
especially your close friends and your partners. You're like, oh, it's me, because you're like, hey, man, you mean something to me, bro. Come over here and see what I've been seeing and feel how I feel.
But and the thing is too, like, as not just as men, but just humans, right? We like to accumulate toys, and we like to like, dude, you know, I got this car, I got this house, or I got a jet ski or whatever, right? But it's like, you think about it, like, all the money in the world, all the toys, whatever, like, you ain't taking nothing with you to heaven but your friends and family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, like,
that's a different approach right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you look at it, it's like, dude, all that stuff can burn, but like your friends and family are the ones you want to see in heaven. So it's like, what do I do about that? I gotta tell them. I gotta tell them about it. But man, I mean, dude, it's always a struggle. Like, just trying to be a real dude from around the block, just trying to be a better person. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be better than anyone else. I'm just trying to be
share
better
your
than
experiences and hope that somebody can learn from them, right? And maybe kind of deter from the energy that they were probably looking into doing. Saying, man, I met this guy and he kind of shifted my energy in a different path. Now I'm finding my way to catch my niche.
See what he's talking about.
You know, that's why I always ask little kids, you know, not little kids, but like teenagers when they're trying, like, what do you feel you're going to be good at? Or what do you like? What sparks your interest when you look at things? You know, because you should start looking into it right now. And then they start looking at them like, well, you know, why are you caring so much? Because I don't want to see you doing what I had to. And not to say that my parents didn't do what they had to do, because they did their best. But I think as men, we all do what we do regardless, because we want to see how far we can push the limits. Some people don't make it. Some
prove ourselves or whatever it is too. Yeah.
You know, some people don't make it. Some people get the time that they have to do, and unfortunately, you know, but you know, it's that living and learn lesson, man. You know, you got to go through and then spark that interest in someone else, so that just it keeps circulating. That's what I feel like I've been trying to do to all these younger generation people.
It's finding a mentor, that can pour into you, and also finding someone that you can pour into.
Yeah.
Like Tony, like I'm sure, like you learned a lot in business, right? And it's like, man, like I don't want to keep this knowledge to myself. So like, you find a little homie, and you're like, let me teach you what someone taught me, or even nobody taught you, but you're like, let me teach you what I learned.
Yeah, of course.
And you
bro. Pour into someone else. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you want people to learn what you know now.
I kind of feel like we go through a era of our life, bro, where we're just struggling to try to get to a place that's, you know, where you just imagine in your dreams, and you think, you know, sometimes some of these things are so greater on the other side, but people don't realize the sacrifice that you're giving up to get to that point. And when you realize you finally got there and you did everything that you planned on doing, but you lost so much in that process, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't understand that, you know, going to fortune, fame, and stuff like that, you got so many people that just start becoming envious of you and start not liking what you're doing. So even your family members, you're just trading them in for toys, you know what I mean? Like you were saying earlier, and just because, you know, it's not that you don't deserve it, it's just that we're not on the same wavelength and path of what we want in life, you know what I mean? I think personally on my end, you know what I mean, I try to teach these kids, don't focus on you know, being a rapper, don't focus on doing this and that, you know, that's your hobby. You know what I'm saying? That's for fun. You know, and the rest is, you know, it comes and it falls into place. But don't ever let it change your humbleness, your mindset. You know what I mean? You just your drive itself every day. You know, you want to be who you want to be, of course. You know, and I'm telling you not to be, you know, a rock star if you want to be a rock star. But I'm just telling you, just be careful, because you're trading in a lot to get there. You know what I mean? So
people think it's like it's an overnight success thing too, and it's like, you know, like
that's what it is.
Like, you know, talk to Sonny and he'll tell you like this ain't no overnight thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't take the escalator to the top. They took the stairs. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, when they blew up, it was like, dude, that was 10 years later.
In the making, exactly. They already had albums out before they got signed.
Like, that's not an overnight thing. But all of a sudden, it's like they blew up everywhere. And
they funded their own tours before. They did all that stuff before they got signed.
We're selling albums out of the back of the truck, and out of Wolf's garage, and all that stuff. And you're right. It's not like you don't realize like that sacrifice, and people look at that and think like, oh man, I can do what they did. Like, it's a lot of work, though.
Not to mention the time that you're missing from, you know, spending time with your wife, your family, your kids. You know, you're sacrificing so much. You know what I mean? And so,
I missed my son's first step because I was on tour. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you miss a lot, man.
It's all part of that sacrifice. You know,
it's a huge sacrifice.
And see, that's something you've never forgot about. See, and it's been how many years?
He's 23.
That's what I'm saying. But that's something that's like, okay, hold up, like it's still embedded in, you know, their mind. Like, dang, there's something I missed, and
the lifestyle for me, like it drove me further away from my kids, and it drew me further away from my family. And I'm not saying it was a direct result of like why I got divorced, but it was definitely you know, a huge factor in that.
Right.
But like I'd never put my wife and family first. It was always like the industry, the business, my name, getting my name out. And like my priorities were fully upside down. You know what I'm saying? And our priorities, they're supposed to be, you know, God, wife, family, everything else. You know? And everything for me was upside down.
Upside
like,
down.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, me, you know, the industry, and you know, everything I was doing. It's like my wife, kids, you know. And so it's like once you turn that pyramid upside down, make you realize like, oh, these are the real priorities.
Right.
You know?
Start focusing more.
Yeah. But like he says, you don't realize what you lose at the time to get to that situation, and it sucks. You know what I mean? As far as like losing, your family, or like just losing things that are meaningful, but you're not understanding at that moment that they're feeling the impact that your vision is like you were tunnel vision. You weren't about everybody else that needed your time. You were just like fully, you're buckled up and ready to go. Like, and when you don't give people, like I said, that time and that balance, of course, you lose the great things that happen to somehow.
You got some cool stories, but
right,
but it's nothing that like your kids, they'll just remember like, oh, dad wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And you miss birthdays. Like I know, like my daughter Gianni, like I missed a lot of her birthdays, and that impacted her.
Of course,
and her relationship with me too.
Right.
And it's like, I can tell some cool R. Kelly stories, or Run DMC story or whatever, but it's like, what good does that do?
Right.
But like to your point, like the mind shift of when you tell like the homies, like you can't, like just because you're rapping, it doesn't mean that you're a great rapper. I mean, you could rap good, but it doesn't make you like a good rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Like make that your 9 to 5 and make exactly.
And even like
actually
the way we do with our stuff now is like I consider it like slots. Like you got to find out where your slot's at. Once I find out where your slot's at in this industry or anything that I'm doing, I'm going to make you discover a talent that you didn't even know God gave you.
Word.
You know what I mean? And when you suppose that talent, we're going to go full force with it. Because everybody that's in a part of my, Strictly Lit crew is just something different. You know what I mean? And they all came into it wanting to be somebody that they're not today. But that's because they found their new slot where they belong, and I'm not saying like belong in a bad place. I'm saying belong like you didn't even realize you could draw like that. You didn't even realize you could, sell like that. You didn't even realize you were a salesman until, you are actually in the position of being the salesman. So I love helping people as well, but I love, helping them discover what their talent is, what they're great at, and I work with a lot of artists too, so I see the difference in like what you're talking about and what you're teaching people is going to have a big impact if I'm interested in doing business with you, because if you're just talking about I'm just moving coke and I'm taking all these people across the border and this and that, bro, you're not teaching anybody anything good. You're just in that revolving door that they want you to be in. You know what I mean? That they want you to keep going back to prison. They want you to be on probation. They want you to get caught again. It's a big money maker. You know what I mean? And it just, if you help them and teach them, something different, then they're going to learn how to make that money the legit way, because the fast money goes as fast as it came in, and the legit money, you think about it before you spend it, And just yesterday, this dude was telling me yesterday at the booth, he said, man, you always stuck to me when you told me, hey, every dollar that you have, you got to invest it in something that you're going to get a return. Don't just, blow it on buying $1,000 pair of shoes, you know what I mean? That for someone else's brand, you know what I mean? That it's cool. I know it's the thing. Everybody loves it, and you got to be rocking whatever everybody else is rocking. But at the same time, you could have been rocking your own shit. You know what I mean? You could have been doing your own thing.
Very much. Very true.
And people would have been following you instead of you following them.
Yeah, exactly.
Some good stuff.
Find your path, man, definitely.
But I love it.
It's a beautiful thing when you could kind of go back and reflect on all that, and then pour that into someone else.
For sure.
You think back on all the stuff that, all the coulda, woulda, shouldas. You know what I'm saying? Now like I think back, like, man, like the first time that I smoked out my nephew or my little brother or whatever, and you see like the effect. Like the trickle down effect of what it caused.
What gets starts. And right.
Now it's like, man, like, I just try to do the opposite, like around my kids. Like my kids have never seen me drunk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like they don't see me drink. If anything, if I'm gonna have a glass of wine at home with my wife, but like you still aren't gonna see me drunk. Like I don't really.
You got a way you carry yourself, and that's where you don't want people to remember you a certain way.
Yeah, and even then, like, dude, for as much as I drank and as much as I partied, like it's hard to find like a picture of me holding
some liquor in
drink.
hand or
right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was always conscious of it, no matter what. It's like, dude, oh, you want to take a picture? All right, cool with me.
My beer down. Okay.
Vodka,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, that was my thing. Was like vodka was always my. I remember I had a birthday party that was sponsored by Belvedere. You know.
Yeah.
Over down the street at Posh. You know.
Nice.
And it was like that was my world. You know. But
Yeah.
it's like when people see like a true change, and it's like, oh, this dude might be legit. All right, he might be. I might listen to him. Or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So now it's what we pour into the next generation. It's like, what are we doing to pour into the next generation? Like, you know, like, what are you telling your kids? What are you telling your kids?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And it's like I always have to rethink that, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like my kids hear stories, and now they're like, all right, you can't tell me about nothing because you did the same. You know?
You were doing it, yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you're right, I did. But now it's what do you do? Don't talk about the did part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We already know
what
that.
I do now. Exactly.
And so now it's like, what do you do to fix that, and how do you move forward with it? And it's like, yeah, man, I did do a lot of dirt. I did do all this stuff. And, you know, it's just trying to be better. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a little, not that you're better than anyone else. Like, just trying to be better than who you were yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
yeah,
You'd be better than yourself who you were yesterday.
For anybody that takes it wrong, you know what I mean? Because some people carry themselves and they're like, bro, you don't know what I've been through for you to have a different perception of me of how I'm carrying myself now.
Yeah.
That's why I don't try to do that as you know, ever to judge a book by its cover. Because, you know, I see some people that have things and they're, you know, wearing things and maybe because they never had them before when they and I can't judge that. I'm like, damn, you deserve every single one of those things you're doing. You know what I mean? Because you probably had share shoes down the road with you know 5 different family members.
So I grew up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So, you know,
I had all my brothers hand me downs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
jackets.
Rolling up the sleeves, rolling up the pants, and just
man.
Everything. Putting in an extra sock just to make my shoe fit. You know what I'm saying? Like we grew up that way.
That's what I'm saying. It's the humbleness that you have. You know what I mean? To know, like, hey, man, I've been through it all, but still standing, you know, strong with the headstrong and the mentality to say, hey, man, you know, I've been through a lot of struggle, but I'm trying to give you some better light here. You know what I'm saying? To focus on what you don't have to go through in retrospect to what I've been through, as far as, you know, kid to a teenager to everything. I don't want people to.
But just even this conversation, if we think about it, we're talking some grown folk stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like the stuff that we like. Even it changes everything. Like I think we were talking about last week when Paco and them were here. It's like, dude, you even in like someone like Jay-Z's music,
right?
Like you were able to see like his growth and what he talked about in the early albums, to where like where he talked about in his last stuff, and it was like he's on some grown folk stuff. He's talking about stocks and bonds and buying art and doing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like,
it's a whole different.
It's just different investments and all that stuff. It's like you're talking grown folk stuff, and so that's growth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's stuff that we should be talking about.
Exactly.
Stuff that we should, because if not, like if you don't grow, you die.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, whether it's like spiritually or just emotionally or whatever it might be, right? So like if you don't grow, you die. So like you have to continue to grow whatever it is that you're doing, you know.
Develop-wise, your mind frame, your
this is the
almost like a reinventing yourself kind of thing. You keep coming back for something new, something more. Like, what do I do now? What do I do next? You know.
Yeah, and we appreciate you coming in to share these kind of conversations because it's what we do all the time, anyways. We should be recording ourselves sometimes when we do it, but we don't. But we should. But you know, it's a conversation that people can look back at and say, wow, you know, like. They've been through some experiences, you know, that I've been through, or maybe my son's going through, or somebody's going through. But maybe you can look at this and have a different perception of what, you know, people are sharing. You know, I try to definitely do that. And I see a lot of the young kids in my family. They like, well, my son's not a young kid, but you know, like people who are younger, teenage wise and everything. I see them looking at a lot of the stuff we do. Now, I don't try to advertise a lot of the stuff. Like I don't really see you out there smoke. Like he says, I don't smoke in front of my kids. I don't do none of that stuff. You know, there's certain things that we don't do to make them, you know, like, hey, is the way we handle things, and you might think of me of this way, but I don't, you know, like we have to, how shall I say, we build our reputation up to not have the taboo and the things thrown at us in certain ways that people perceive us to. Now, everybody, like last night, somebody hit me in my inbox, said, hey, what do you guys, first of all, he called us the
Tatas.
Yeah, he said the new rap group, the Tatas.
The Tatas, dude.
And then he goes, Pichi Marihuanos, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
Embrace it.
You know, we're laughing back and forth. My homie, Al, shout out to Al, you know what I mean? But it was funny because we go back and forth. And that
dude,
was
I just found out I'm going to be a grandfather. You know?
Congratulations, man.
Congrats, brother.
Hey, 2026,
nice.
man. Hey.
Right.
There it is, dude.
Congrats, man.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
So and I'm trying to think of like, dude, what am I going to be called?
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to be grandpa, but yeah, so everyone already has, and so like everyone like they run with the Papa whatever, and so my father-in-law's already Papa John, and so and the dude she's having the baby with, his name's Naya, and so his like stepdad and whatever he's called Papa too. So I'm just gonna be Don Ruben.
Don Ruben, dude.
I'm not trying to be grandpa.
Don Ruben. There it is.
But it's just embracing the fact that like, dude, we are getting older.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just run with it, man. Like, when I started getting like grays like early on.
Right.
And so people, oh man, just for men or just whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're like, no, embrace it. Yeah.
I'm just gonna roll.
Yeah, I never died. But once we go grades, it's what it is, man. It's what it is.
Dude,
I never died my.
I took like during the Christmas break, whatever. Like I took a couple of weeks off, like 2-3 weeks off, and so I let my beard grow out a little bit. And dude, it was a lot of gray, bro.
Oh, white.
A lot of gray.
That's me right here. I let the girl this all white, man. For real.
My wife
don't even have a goatee no more. It's just gray. It just blends into the face.
It blends in, man.
Like Paco, how he has just all the white.
Oh, right there. Yeah, the black. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like the opposite of like the Hulkster.
Yeah, the Hulkster.
I'm just like, I can't do. Like I tried. I tried. I was gonna let it run for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I just don't look right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told my son, man, no rush to have kids because he's in the 30s. But I was like, I'd like to have a grandkid that I don't have to change their diapers while they're changing mine. You know what I mean?
It's my turn.
That's true, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. Like I never thought of it. Like I was always like, dude, don't make me a grandfather. So young. But all my kids are like older now. So you know what I'm saying? Like my youngest is 21.
Yeah.
It's like, I can be a grandfather at any moment.
Right.
Boom, and it just happens. So.
Well, that's great, man. I know the whole family's energy is like excited right now.
Well, we talk about it every day now.
Heck yeah, dude.
That's great.
So
that's really great, man.
It's different, man. But yeah, just the how we evolve as like a couple street kids from South San Diego to like now we're talking grown folk conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's real stuff that I mean, I'm like, dude, we did the hip hop thing. We pioneered that. We did the clothing thing. We did the video and the interview stuff. Like, we did all that stuff, but it's like with all the stuff that you did and are doing, it's like, how do you flip it? How do you turn it back to like, make it something to where you're giving back?
Exactly.
And so that's a lot of the stuff that evolved into what we did with Love Thy Neighbor, what we do with Connected, and
that's great.
What I'm doing with the book and the retreat stuff. So I just had to kind of like flip it and roll it into something else.
And it's doing great, man. You're doing great movement. Like I said, I mean, you're embedding a lot of probably teens who don't have that positive energy or that positive input into them to get a like I said, a message from you and be like, man, this guy's really.
Of course.
I don't know this guy from anything. He's not a family member, but sometimes you need that outside perspective to gain that perspective. And sometimes we can't get from our family members. We're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Then you sit down with somebody you don't know. You're like, wait.
Yeah.
Of course.
I listen to every single word this guy said.
I say that about, like the youngsters, like with my kids and stuff. I'm like, my kids see me every day, and they probably don't look at me as that dude, right?
Right.
Maybe they do. I don't know. But I'm like, man, if someone's going to speak life into my kids, it might just be someone outside of my circle that's going to be like, yo, you got to look into this, you got to do that. And it's like, cool, man. Like, all right, Lord, whatever way, it doesn't have to be me.
Yeah. And if it could be positive message, that's all that matters, right?
A lot of it's with anything, man. Like with my kids, with sports, I tell them something. They won't hear it from me, but if another person tell them that, they're like, "Oh, I try to tell them that the whole time."
I've been telling you that. Yeah. You can listen to them.
Yeah, just like my son, like you can, I can, like I said, I can beat his brains all day with something. But like I said, it's the end of the night when you laying there that you identify what your choice is, man. And he can listen to, he can probably sit down with E-Rock or maybe Anthony, and then his perspective of something might be a little bit different because he's hearing it harshly from me, or at least they take it that way because like, it's
because it's you.
But
everything is in perspective, bro. You just change one little thing about the way that you look at stuff, and it changes everything. I always tell people, like, I take it back to like, there's a story in the Bible where like a bunch of like these religious folks, they bring this woman to Jesus, and Jesus he's sitting there and he's like, it doesn't say what he's writing, but he has his finger and he's writing in the sand and the dirt, and like he's not even like tripping on that.
Right.
And they're coming and they're like, "Hey, Jesus, there's this woman. She just got caught cheating on her husband and whatever, and she just committed adultery." And he's just like, and he's writing in the sand, and they're like, "So the laws say that we're supposed to stone her because of what she did."
Right.
And so he's like, "Okay, well, whoever doesn't have sin, cast the first stone. Go for it. Throw the first stone. If you don't have sin, if you haven't sinned, cast the first stone."
None of them could.
And they dropped their stones and they turned around and walked away. And he's like, "Woman, where's your accusers?" So he didn't do anything. He's Jesus. He could have struck them down. He could have done anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All he did was change their perspective.
You're not perfect either. So
Dude, And so sometimes that's just what we need to do in some of our situations, in our
very
lives, in our kids' situations.
Yeah.
It's like just help change the perspective. And sometimes they look at things different.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I think that's
they're more accepting sometimes of it than feeling like they're getting scolded by it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's what it is. Yeah, that's a great. Let me ask you: was that you guys doing the studio and the detention center? Is that the first one in the countries, or is that one of many?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
But I know it's the first one there.
Here,
that's
great.
one
there.
Yeah,
So,
that's a great accomplishment, man. You know what I mean? To get even the yes, you can do so. You know what I mean? Yeah. So whoever gave you the approval and the yes on that, that was an open eye to them to say, hey, let's try to get something different.
Yeah. Shout out to YDA and East Mesa because they've been hitting us up on doing all kinds of stuff. So for 3 years we've been doing this like little mini festival in there.
Yeah, it's great.
And so we bring in public. So we bring in people that just want to come in and do stuff. This last one that we did was probably like the biggest one, a little more organized. Yeah. It's always I would bring in the homies from Chicano Hollywood.
Nice.
They come down. They let us bring like camera equipment, and so they're like, dude, let's give you a little monologue. Yeah. And you like practice on screen, see if you want to be an actor or whatever. But again,
it's up to them to do that. But
and so it's like, dude, you don't only have to be an actor. Like we can train you to be a production assistant, to do whatever. But it gives you hope outside of that. Yes. It's like you don't have to go to college. Like you can be a tattooer. You could be like we bring some barbers to come in too. It's like, dude, you could be a barber, you could be an actor, you could be like there's so many things outside of that you could do.
That's great that you bring a workshop though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
definitely. So they'd reached out this week and we're gonna try to create like a job fair type of thing of stuff that you could still do even if you have a background.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So so we're gonna
you still work where I work at with the back. I got people in that have that have records, so so they still work with me. So
and so we're just trying to open up the perspectives of hey, like how about trying something else?
Yes.
And maybe you're not going to be the biggest YouTuber or the biggest rapper, but guess what? You could be a dope barber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta find your
there's
niche.
Other things.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell people. Don't if that's your dream, I understand it. Don't crush your dream. But find what you can do right now to motivate yourself to reach that point. You know what I mean?
Right now, barbers are making a killing.
Barbers,
50 bucks a head.
I'm like,
wait a minute, you make like $400 a day? Damn, okay.
A couple clients, not even a whole full day, But it's
you're still leaving at 3 p.m. Okay.
I know, right?
My barber, he lives across the street from my dad on Maitland.
That's crazy.
And shout out to Eddie, but he could work his own hours. He could do his whatever he wants whenever he wants.
Yeah, set his own appointment.
Yeah. And to me, I'm chasing him down because I've tried other barbershops. And he was out sick recently, so I had to I forget what I was doing. I was gonna be on TV. I don't know. I was gonna do something, and it was like, I need a haircut.
Right.
And he was in the hospital or something.
Oh, man.
I was like, dude. And so I went and they jacked me up. So I'm like, I'm not cheating on my barber. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't do that.
Right.
I'm still all jacked up. And I'm like, I just gotta wait for him to get better, man.
Right.
I'm still
I'm still trying to recover, bro. Let me know when you're back.
For real. Feeding for a haircut, but you got there's other opportunities for kids to for the youngsters to be able to
find
do
their
more, man. So,
right. And that's great.
even just things that you didn't know, like what you're talking about, like things that you didn't know that you could do that you could kind of help them develop. I didn't ever think that I was like, I don't even to this point look at myself as an author, but I'm saying like with this book, I've been working on it for years. I just didn't ever think that I could do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now that
I can look at the
I
accomplishment.
finished like writing, I'm like, bro, anybody could do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it just took like
dedication in your mind.
The Moses Factor coming out in February on Amazon.
Yeah,
so make sure you guys look for that.
Yes.
February 25th, the ebook comes out, and then March 22nd, got the paperback and hardcover.
Okay,
congratulations.
And,
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'm gonna be asking people too, man. Like,
I'm on chapter 4 now.
Oh,
so I started last night. I did my laundry this morning, so I'm reading it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what I like about it is like you have that checklist at the end.
Yeah.
And each chapter, like, you know,
the little challenge.
The challenge,
handle that.
Handle that. Yeah, exactly.
That challenge.
So it makes you like just go back on what you read, and how would you change your perspective or your life, or how you make different choices or whatever it is. What did you get from that?
Yeah, it drove you in.
And put it to your life.
Yeah.
You know.
I did it to where like I did a challenge, and then kind of like if you take notes, you know, some people like to take notes.
Yeah.
And so kind of like, hey, take note on this, and like write down whatever. Write down something you want to change about yourself this week or whatever. And then a prayer at the end. Because some people, like, we all struggle with prayer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, dude, well, I think I can come up with 40 prayers. Just short little small paragraph of like, Lord, fix me because I'm a scumbag. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my heart. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I think we could all do these little prayers, you know.
Yeah.
But I wanted to write it in my voice and in my tone.
Right.
And how, you know,
Definitely. I can see when I'm reading, I can hear your voice. Like I can read it in your voice.
Everybody says that. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I can picture you. I can hear you saying what you're saying. And the first words of the book is, it's not about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
and so where I messed up was like when I first started this, like I made everything about me. And so I went through and just, all right, I need to scrap this whole thing.
Right.
And so my first thing was like, okay, I told, you know, a bunch of things about I made the book about me, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. And the second version of it was like really like textbook.
Right.
And I was like, it just doesn't feel like me though.
Yeah.
So I just went through and kind of made it a little more personal. I asked questions. Have you ever felt like, or have you ever, you know? Yeah. And so I made it a little more personal to where it's more like with self-reflection.
Exactly.
And I really modeled it after, there's a book called The Purpose-Driven Life.
Okay.
And so I kind of modeled it after that. Just kind of like a street version.
Okay.
Of
Yeah, it draws you in,
life.
man.
You know, I wrote the book for the people in this room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, it wasn't, like
That's
you'll hear me
for sure.
like say throughout it where I'm like, you know, oh, this is for the homie that's locked up. And if you're sitting in your cell thinking whatever.
Yeah, I saw that. I read that part. Yeah.
Or it's like if you're a barber just sweeping hair, like basically like, dude, don't feel like you're counted out. Don't feel like you're unqualified to do something because I felt that way. And I still feel that way. Like I get super, you know, I'm not very secure sometimes.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? I feel insecure.
Right.
So how many of us don't? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, there's
always
there's
something.
a lot of us that are
Especially in
insecure.
something new, like you're out of your comfort zone, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
And so I had to be like when we're talking about being vulnerable, like if I wanted it to be authentic, I need to be vulnerable.
You have to.
So like I mentioned,
so
you
people
know,
can see you're genuine.
in there my downfalls and my insecurity issues. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mentioned in there, dude, being like, you know, younger when you're, you know, you've been sexually abused. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when I'm able to open up and say that.
Right.
You know, it's like, dude, there's a lot of us that hide that.
Right.
There's
they don't want to face that part of
whatever
life.
your struggles are, like, dude, let's be vulnerable and let's talk about it. But I mainly, like I was talking about earlier, like when you experience something, like you want someone else to experience it with you.
Of course.
And so I had this this point where I'd heard a sermon on Moses, and dude had just turned 40, and he had this like crossroads in his life where it was like, dude, are you gonna continue being this fake dude,
the Egyptian
that lived in the in the palace, fake Egyptian, or are you gonna be like the Hebrew slave that you're really
born in as
And so I had just turned. I was driving up to Modesto to go see my kids, and so I'm driving up there, and there was nothing on the radio. You know, when you're going through the grapevine. And so I'm like, dude, there's just this pastor preaching, and this is in 2013. Yeah, 2013.
Okay.
And so, you know, I'm trying to like, there's nothing on, but the sermon, it was a pastor named Tony Evans, and he was sharing about about Moses, and he was at this turning point of his life. He just turned 40 and had to be like, dude, you're gonna keep trying to be this fake dude, or you're gonna step into what God called you to be, you know. And
God put you on that drive for a reason.
Yeah, and I just turned 40, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this guy's talking to me, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, like when you like hear something, you're like, what? Or
it
you
hits
like,
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's like you hadn't gone to church for a long time, and all of a sudden you show up, and the pastor's saying everything. It's like, who told them I was coming? You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's talking to me.
Who told
you know?
Yeah.
And so like you roll up, and so that's what I felt, and so I just pulled over to the side of the road. I did the ugly cry. I cried like a little girl, and I'm sitting there, like, all right, God, you're talking to me. What do you want me to do? And I just felt God telling me, like, dude, go get your family back.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so like it was an experience for me, you know. So at that point I was like, all right, Lord, I'll do what you asked, but you know, it's a crunchy situation. It's not as easy as you said, but you asked me to do it, so I'm just gonna go do it. And at first it was crunchy and it's weird,
right?
But like, dude, like God softened my wife's heart, and we ended up getting remarried. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah.
And so like, you know, we went through that, but the whole point of it isn't that you were called to do something. Like we're all called to do something, right? But Exodus 4:20 explains that the main part of that, of what the Moses factor is that he loaded up his donkey with his family, and he took his Moses staff, and he hit the road. That was the point. That was the Moses factor.
Yeah,
right.
It's like, dude, we all get called to do something, but just because you get called doesn't mean that you do it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is that point where not you've seen the burning bush? That was your call. We all have a burning bush, right?
Right.
That God got your attention.
Yes.
But when did you pack up your donkey and grab your stick and say, I'm going? That was the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, when was it for you guys where you were like, we're going to start this podcast?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to start this business.
Yeah.
And then you went and you started the business, did the paperwork.
Yeah.
That was the Moses factor. That was the point. And then so I just like started for years kind of like looking into who's this Moses dude? And like, he seemed like he was like an awesome leader, but like what is the thing that made him an awesome leader, and what was his downfalls? Because he was a murderer. Like he murdered.
He murdered somebody. Yeah.
And so, you know, he was in hiding for 40 years, and then God showed up with this burning bush. You know, and so like some of us live in obscurity, how he did for 40 years. So you're like, all right, well, like what's after that? What do you want me to do? And so I just try to put it in kind of like the street version of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you explain the story, make it relatable, and make it to where it's like for us?
Yeah, and it is, man. It's very, like I said, I'm gonna see if we can send it to
Absolutely.
So
that was my next question was gonna be too. Is like, how did you just how can you get into doing your own book? And I'm sure a lot of people are wondering like, how do you just do you just hire a publicist, or you just do it on your own? You just jumped on the computer one day and say, I'm doing my own book, or how does that work?
The thing is,
process.
It's exactly like what you guys did. Like you just do the thing. Like even if you don't know what it is you're doing, you just do the thing, right? Yeah. So, I didn't know when I first started doing my video show, my stuff, The Connected, I didn't know what I was doing. I just hit up Eric Casas and my little brother Charlie. Yeah. And it's like, hey, dude, just grab a camera. Let's just start doing it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I do with the book. Like, I knew like God planted that in me, and so I didn't know the first thing about doing anything. So I just started writing.
Yeah.
And so I knew like, dude, these are some cool little nuggets of stuff that I know I want to talk about.
Right. Yeah.
But so I just started like, okay, one chapter is going to be about this. Yeah. So I wrote out all my brain farts, and I'm like, I'm going to do that. Yeah. And then I just started like when I'm doing my research, I just started, okay, I'm going to open up a Google Doc, and this chapter is going to talk about this. And it was just all my notes and all one thing that I compiled. And then I was like, now let me try to make it make sense.
Right.
And so
put everything in order.
Dude, but now with like AI, with like ChatGPT, everything's like so much easier that where it's like you can dump all that stuff in, and it can help you like arrange stuff, and then you work it from there. But there's the traditional sense of publishing, and then there's the independent self-publishing. And so it's like I went the self-publishing route just because I talked to a few traditional publishers, and I felt like you're not doing anything that I would do already. Like you're telling me you're going to come up with the, you're going to edit my stuff, or you're going to come up with a cool book cover, and you're going to do a website. I'm like, dude, I got my homie Eric Casas that does all that, and I can just have him do all that.
Do it all myself. Yeah.
And
that makes more sense.
And I'm like, you may not understand like the demographic that I'm going for, so I'll probably just have to do some of that stuff on my own. So I just decided to go independent, and
That's great.
I'm just, I don't know anything about it either. So I just linked up with a publicist, and so we'll probably start doing that within the next couple of weeks or whatever.
Nice.
But I'm of course I'm gonna be hitting it on my own as well.
Definitely.
So I'll be reaching out to like you guys.
Yeah.
Yo, check out my thing. Give me your honest review on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I do want to do it, and if I do, like I did start writing, a couple other things in the process where I hit like a roadblock because I was like, yo, this just isn't coming out the way I wanted it to come out.
Yeah.
And so like I had some other ideas. I have a whole other book called Where I'm From, talking about San Diego, and people have come out of San Diego, just shining spotlight on everything San Diego.
Yeah.
And then I have another one that I started, The Judas in the Mirror, talking about how there's a little bit of Judas in all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like Judas is the bad, like you don't name your kid Judas ever. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like a betrayer, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, dude, but there's a little bit of Judas in all of us, dude. We all betray one another, betray God, so I started writing a little bit on that because I needed to take a break on the Moses thing because I'm like, this isn't coming out the way. So then I jumped back into it, just like I'm just doing it my way. Like I don't care how everyone else does it traditionally. Like I just got to do it my way. Like I gotta speak the way I speak and write the way I write because like it felt fake. It didn't feel.
Yeah, it didn't feel like you.
Yeah. And so like I needed to go back and just be authentic about it. So like, to answer that, like I just needed to be me. So whatever you do, man, just be you and just do it your way. Yeah. And then it works itself out. Because I didn't know nothing about it. I still don't know anything about it. I'm still kind of learning as we go. Yeah. And like, like me and Eric Casas have been working, like the final edition was like, like we did like 24 revisions on the on the ebook just because it's like we don't know what we're doing. Like this is the first time us doing it, and so now for the next stuff it'll be easier.
You guys already have the
format,
the learning curve is out the way.
The blueprint,
for sure.
When I started announcing it, I got a couple homies like, in TJ that do ministry and they do out, and they're like, yo, like. When are you gonna do a Spanish one? And I was like, dude, that's right. Yeah. So I just went through and translated all of it. And it's cool because like some of the translation, because I wanted to sound like someone from Tijuana, like speaking it,
right? Because
like I don't speak proper Spanish, and it's hard. Like people have asked me, hey, can you come up and share in Spanish, whatever? And I'm like, I can, but it's like al pocho, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, but if I had a translator or someone with me where I'm like, let me say it in English and you say it in Spanish. And so like, I can speak fluent Spanish, I can write in Spanish, but it's not proper. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's written not proper. So, like.
But it hits the spots where you need to. It really does. It's more organic to me. I don't know how to explain to you. You know what I mean?
And that's who it's written for. So it's written for like guys like us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're too proper or whatever, like there's other books you can read.
Yeah.
Like, this one may not be for you.
Yeah.
But if you got like maybe, the street mentality where it's like, I can, because, I say ain't, I say gonna, and I say, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is some proper stuff in there, and it has to be when it comes to scripture.
Oh yeah, it was written well.
But I still have to keep it me. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's what it felt like, though. It felt like it was, being worded by you in a sense. You know what I'm saying? To where it wasn't worded by some 70-year-old man trying to. Well, I'm going to read like that. It's a whole different feel.
I started doing the audiobook.
Like oh, you did.
In the audiobook, like I felt like it has to be me speaking it the way that I speak.
Yeah.
So like I'm sitting there and I've always said like boom a lot like in my conversations. Like, instead of saying like that's it right there, like, oh boom, like,
right.
So it's like you hear me saying it while I'm doing the audiobook. My son's doing it for me.
Oh, nice.
So we're in my like little walk-in closet and we just set up in there like a studio, and I'm just doing it. Yeah,
oh, that's cool.
But that's the other thing too. Is like when you ask, like, how do you do that? How do you start that?
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm just
doing
it. My son has a little, he has a little recording setup, and so he's got a dope mic, and we just went in. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
So it's
figure it out later.
Just do
get it done
thing.
now.
Whatever it is, like whoever's listening and whoever's wanting to do something, start a podcast or do whatever. Like I even say that in the book. Like start a podcast or write a movie or do whatever. Just start The first step is
the
just
research
do it.
and just start and do it.
Yeah, that's how we did it when I was like, man, since we're gonna be doing, music as often, right. I was like, why don't we just think of something else to do? And that's how this all sparked.
Research it all, too.
I
listen to like YouTube clips all day long. I'm like, what do I do about releasing a book? Like, I don't know nothing about it. So I had to like go in and learn. I'm like, okay. And so like
cool.
Starts making sense.
And so like whoever's out there trying to do something, man, just do the thing. Do that first thing, whatever it might take.
Take that step, man. Take that first step. And don't hesitate, right?
But no, I appreciate the kind words, man, and I hope it resenates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does, man. They're already starting
with when Anthony reads it as well, then I'll send it to wams and everybody else as well, so they can get we want to make sure it instills in everybody, man, so we're on the same page. Because I know I don't want to be the only one. I was like, that's why I was like, hey, man, you got to read this stuff, bro. And he was like, well, send it to me, man. I'm trying to open it. So yesterday,
I sent you guys the manuscript. But now like I can send out the actual ebook. Like an advanced reader copy.
That's really cool.
So
well, now you know what we're gonna be reading for the next.
Right.
No, I appreciate.
All right, Sonny's books. I got to read yours now, man.
And we appreciate we appreciate the time and the effort. For you to put something like that out, man. I mean, like you said, just do it. Some people can't find that drive. They'll get halfway into it and just quit.
It's like, what do you do with some of the information that you've accumulated? What do you do with the knowledge that if someone poured into you and taught you something, like what do you do with that? And so I just felt like, man, the stuff that I learned, like I just want to
give it back
down. Like, hey, check out what I learned.
That's great.
It's something you could like.
That's all.
It lives on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not expecting to get rich off of doing it. I hope that it impacts some lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if anybody that's out there that is also wanting to impact lives, dude, like, help me get this book into the juvenile halls and into the prison system.
Right.
So I'm doing it on a paperback copy so that it can go into the prisons.
Yeah.
Right.
So if anybody wants to like pitch in to help me buy some of the paperbacks, so that I can send them to the prisons and keep them in the juvenile halls.
That's good.
So if Strictly Lit wants to sponsor some stuff to go in, let's do it. But I think it'll help the kids in there too.
Oh yeah. When you know your investments hitting people in a way that it should, you're doing right, man. You're doing right. So Anthony's like, what?
Yeah, man. Because dude, you can go from doing music and doing being in the music industry and doing all that stuff, but like all the stuff that you learn from, like if you don't flip it and turn it into something tangible. I learned all this. I want to give it to someone else.
And that's almost like wasted talent too.
Yeah.
When you're not giving it back, it's like
talk about wasted talent.
It becomes dead. It becomes dead. It's like it's dead in the water.
I mean, like if I'm doing something like, hey, check this out. Hey, I do this now, right? I'm always teaching somebody something, man. Just like, in other words, hey, I don't want to be the only one to know this stuff. I want to teach you too, bro. I do this.
So I'm learning how to edit this stuff.
Just doing all kinds of things. I'm teaching everybody as whatever I can teach them, man. And I'm trying to teach anybody who's willing to listen and learn. I don't want to be forceful, but if somebody's like, oh, you want to learn this? Let's sit down there. Exactly. You know what I mean? Force feeding somebody.
Never too old to learn, man. That's my thing.
We learn every day, right?
Yeah, I learn something every day, man.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So is there anything else?
Man, I'm just soaking it up, bro, because I feel like we reached this age that we're at now, man, and I still feel like I need another 100 years.
For real.
You know what I mean? And I say it all the time. Bro. I said, man, if I would have known all this 20 years ago, I would be playing what I'm playing now. I'd be doing something totally different. I sent G a bunch of
information. I was like, hey, man, like when I've done some podcast interviews, like I got like a little bio thing I sent to everybody. I'm like, yo, here's some info, and it's like, dude, some of the stuff I did so long ago, I don't even like talk about it anymore. I forget. I didn't even talk about, but
legit bio, man. It's legit bio. Yeah, definitely.
And it's like you've done so much stuff, but it's like how much of that stuff really matters. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like now, like you're saying, like I just want to do stuff that matters.
That matters, right? And
it's like
not only that, it leaves a footprint.
You've done the stuff for the moment, but now you want to do the stuff that forever in time, man.
I've been in some crazy rooms with some like dope situations, you know, with Run DMC, with done stuff with R. Kelly and Busta Rhymes, all these. I got gold and platinum records on my walls. Like I toured with Papa Roach. I did. I know we're talking last week or whatever, and it's like I did. All the DVDs for all the hot hip hop artists at the time, like
that's right,
Grubb, DJ Quick, Dub C, all the stuff.
Berlin Chung.
The Outlaws, all the stuff. And so I'm like cool. It's cool that we can talk about all that, you know what I'm saying? And I try to put people on too with Sonny Jaramillo. he had reached out a few years ago. I want to say 2018 or something like that. He reached out, and he was like, "Yo, I want to hook you up with this dude, Tom and Peter Seidler,
yeah, Padres."
And so I'm like, "All right, cool. I don't know anything about it. I'm not a sports guy, so I'm like, all right, cool." And so he just puts me on a call real quick, and I'm talking to this dude, Tom, and I'm just like, yeah. And so good thing I wasn't like rude or being, because I can be sarcastic. So I was cool. I was professional because I don't know who this dude is. Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, man. So especially any stuff that you do in South San Diego or in TJ, like, reach out and maybe we can do some stuff together. I'm like, cool, I'd love to. And he's like, man, let me give you my number and let's talk tomorrow and see, what's up. We'll connect again. And I was like, all right, cool. So he gives me a cell phone number. So we get off the phone, and I'm like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
So I Google him real quick, and I'm like, what the crap is this?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I call Sonny. I'm like, hey, Sonny Jaramillo. I'm like, yo, next time you call me with some like billionaire freaking baseball owner, like,
give me a heads up, dude.
Give me a heads up, bro. Like, I don't know what's what.
For reference, Sonny used to work for the Padres. He used to be a bat boy when we were kids. Yeah. For the Padres, so he has a lot of connections with them.
So he knows all the Padre owners and stuff. Nice. But when he puts me on a call with him, and I'm like, who is this? I don't know nothing about any of this. Yeah. And then I Google him and I find out like he's some billionaire, like family, whatever. And so we call. I call him the next day and we're talking. Cool. And so I tell him about this thing we just did with Rey Mysterio. I was like, yo, we did this bike giveaway, and we had the kids write an essay, and we did this thing, and all the kids ended up getting a bike. We did the whole Oprah thing, like,
you get one, you get one,
And so I tell him about it. He's, oh, that's awesome. Maybe we can do some stuff, whatever. And I never really like did much with the Padres. I mean, there's a couple of years where they're like, Ruben, we're going to give you 100 tickets so you can bless your people, whatever. Definitely. And so like we did that a couple of years to where it's like he just gave me a gang of tickets and I just boom. But what we realized was they took the whole idea, the whole concept of the bike giveaway thing, and they did it themselves. Oh. And I was hoping that they were going to do it with us and send a little Padre Friar mascot and some of the Padre promo girls. And, all the stuff that they did, like, let's do it together, And then so I'm watching like a news link. One of the homies sent it to me, and they're like, "Hey, look who just copied what you just did." And I was like, "Oh man, what?" And they just did it again like last year. No. Wow. And so it hurts because I'm like, "Yo, bro, like, why didn't we just done it together?" Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But exactly. But it was just a trip on like, man, did we really make that much of an impact to where even the Padres, where the Padres copied what we're doing?
Exactly. Obviously,
you know you're doing something good when you got some corporations trying to follow your footsteps, right?
And it's not necessarily like I'm the original from it, but I know I had that conversation with dude.
You planted that seed.
Exactly.
So I'm like, what a trip, So, but anyway, getting back to it, I'm like, man, like we could do all this cool stuff, but if you don't know the root of the problem, then everything stays
the same. Yeah.
So giving a kid a bike or giving a kid a toy is cool for the moment. Yeah. But it doesn't change anything. Yeah. So now, I'm just trying to do something bigger on a different scale where we can change some lives.
Even a car, fix their car or something like that. Yeah. I can see that picture.
Well, that's great, man. Well, make sure, you know what I'm saying, give people the people who are alive and people who are here just the information to make sure that, anything that you want to, for the Moses Factor to, anything from the reset to anything that you're going to be doing future endeavors for this year to follow up on. You know what I mean?
And then the homie LV, I think, he is from National City right here too, and he just did a movie called Horchata with Oat Milk.
Oh, okay.
And I've seen that. It's been it's blowing up, and so I've been in talks with him. I wrote an idea, like a story for a movie, and so we've been throwing around ideas and like how to get that going. So kind of got that on the side burner. Like, yo, like let's work on this. Yeah. So he has a director of photography that he works with, and he's in the mix up in LA. You know what I'm saying? So I may just like give him that story to like, yo, like let's do this. Yeah. And it's a cool like redemption story. And so like we're trying to work on that.
That's great.
And then I got The Art of Redemption, which is the documentary I want to do in the East Mesa Juvenile Hall.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to get involved with that too, like I'm down with that. So I'm hoping to do
Which
that.
Is that actual art, like drawings, or?
No, I'm just calling it the art of redemption because like we're looking at like redemption as human beings.
Yeah.
It could be an art form.
Yeah, the art. The art of it, redeeming yourself.
Yeah. And so like take cameras in there and say like, look what creative arts did to redeem themselves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So whether it's graphic design, whether it's like taking a heat press in there, whether it's like we're gonna teach you how to start a podcast, how to become a broadcaster, get someone like Beto to come in, like, you want to be on the radio? Like I can teach you how to do this. How to project your voice, how to do these things. So taking the creative arts and taking it inside the juvenile hall system and saying like, let us
spark some ideas for you guys.
And keep you away from the trouble.
Start growing as a man.
Look what happened to me before. I ended up in this place. I don't want to end up in this place
the
again.
Homie Memo, he does this brand, the good Merc, they do this Bless brand.
Nice.
And so he was going in, he was teaching kids graphic design, right?
Right.
And so he's in there, he takes his laptop in there, and he's helping this kid. And there was one that was specifically like, and so the kid was saying, hey, I'm going to be getting out soon or whatever. So when dude got out, Memo links up with them, kind of like pours into him, like kind of mentor, and ends up getting him a job and he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just on the inside, it's like, what can we do on the outside? When you get out on the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so we're working on that, trying to do more on the inside. So,
well, hats off to you. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Yeah, and if anyone's listening, like, your audience that wants to get more involved in the juvenile hall system, like, dude, reach out, man. Like, and any of that stuff like helps. And some of these kids, they lost their innocence.
Yeah.
And they lost a childhood because of trying to be a tough guy.
Yeah. And
definitely. It's like, dude, the way that the system is right now. If you're, underage, right, and you go and you murder someone, like, someone can just walk up to you and just boom, blast you, your kid. Life for a minor is 7 years. So like the big homies are like, hey man,
you do that for me.
Go do that thing for me. You'll be out in 7 years, but we'll be taking care of you the whole time.
Yeah, if you get charged in the juvenile system, it's a life of the juvenile will be until you're 25.
Yeah. And so there's 24, 25-year-old guys in there. So even like this year, we donated a bunch of, like, I don't know about football, but we donated a bunch of like cleats and gloves.
Oh yeah.
Because they do flag football.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing to be able to like be a small part of all that, man.
Yeah.
And, like handle that, like the challenges, like dude, go in there and help change someone's life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what your background is or your religious beliefs or whatever, like. Humanity's humanity.
Yeah,
like, let's go in there and help
do
change
something
life.
good.
You know
you'll feel good about it too, man. I mean, if you're going through something and you see somebody else that you help, you're like,
well, just helping kids in general, man. It's a trip. And then you see them grow up. Like I used to coach. And I coach along, been over 20 years now. But a lot of those kids have families of their own. I see them at the store. They still call me coach. Hey, coach.
Yeah.
Meet my family. This is my wife. Cool. This and that. Like you have a beautiful family, but I don't ever want to see you again. Make me feel old, bro.
A beautiful family, but I don't want to see you again.
How do people reach out to you, bro, if they're interested in doing this stuff with you at the juveniles and stuff? You want to let people that are listening know, like,
man, reach out to me, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Connected with RT, on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. I don't really use Twitter much, but Instagram, Facebook is just Ruben Torres. I'm not
Love That Neighbor.
Love That Neighbor. LTN movement.
Yep.
I'm not hard to find, man. Like,
cool.
Let's just all connect, and especially it's a different breed in South San Diego. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you get it. You know what I'm saying? And like. Let's do like Voltron. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys might be doing this over here, but let's all just come together. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody brings like their own thing to the table.
Make the bigger impact. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's good because we built something too. Like we built something together, and we're growing as well, developing. Like that's why I told you, man. Every year, man, we're going
doing more and more. Yeah.
And that's why I told him. I start off an idea, but now look at us, bro. We structure something. People are, when they see us, they know that
we started out in a box. We started out with just doing cannabis education. That's how we started this, but then we opened it up for everything now, man.
I like the fact that you guys opened it up.
You know what I mean? I just didn't want to have it.
There was a lot more people listening. People asking to come on, and I'm like, well, we gotta expand this. You know what I mean? We gotta do something bigger. You know, because
exactly.
I know, like it opens it up even for someone like Paco because it's not, you're not just talking about hip hop anymore. It's like when you bring the weed aspect of it, it like limits. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Like,
it does.
Of course.
So we revamped the logo. We did all kinds of different things just to kind of have everybody embrace it. You know what I mean? And that's what we want to do. We wanted to open the doors for everybody. Yeah. In a sense. Yes. So I know that just opened the door for that community. Yeah. Because it only kept us, like you said, in a little
we're in a box.
And then a lot of people's perception of it gets judged the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know,
the taboo is still there too.
You know, and the thing is, we're a lot smarter than what the perception of a bunch of stoners are. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. Like we can have a conversation. I can adapt to somebody out there, and you know, in the corporate, or I can talk to you as street as we possibly can. But we were able to meet comedians. Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, there's a different hustle in South San Diego. Like, everybody's got some kind of hustle, and everyone's doing something. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, I respect what you guys are doing. Like,
we appreciate it.
Like, not necessarily that it's like I wouldn't have come on if you didn't change the name, like, because I feel like with the message that was like put in me, like it'll
reach anybody.
It'll reach anybody. Like I don't care if you smoke weed. I don't care whatever. You know, to me it's like, dude, like I give it to you, and like you mentioned J.O., like, you know, it's like I can give it to you. What you gonna do with it?
Exactly. What you gonna do with it?
Here it is, man.
But what you gonna do? Exactly.
Here's what I'm gonna give you. Like, you do what you
do with it. Exactly.
That's very true.
It's just that thing. Like I don't care. Like, put me in a room with anybody, corporate or whatever. Like I don't care. I'll be the chameleon. You got to be all things to all men, right?
Adapt. You have to adapt.
Like,
you know?
I'll sit with whoever.
That's the key, man. Being able to be like a chameleon, to adapt to whatever room you're in. Should I say, a situation or room?
Might be dressed a certain way, but your perception of somebody, when you start talking to them, like, hey, man, that cuts all barriers when you're able to see the vision of somebody.
But you know, when you go into certain places, you know how you can dress. You know
you got to go in accordingly. You know, you don't want people to look at you like, oh, this guy just like, you got to come in the way
like
you
I always, I always get Ruben's always in a suit and whatever. It's like, because most of the time I'm in business
conducting
settings.
business.
You know what I'm saying? But
so you got to do what you got to do.
But I don't care. Like I can be in a suit and still wear chucks.
Hey,
I'm saying, like, I don't really trip on all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, it's who
you know where you're from,
so
but at the same time, you got to level up when you and carry yourself the way you want people to. You know what I'm saying? Remember you as, and that's what it is.
Being a room full of CEOs, it don't matter. You just. I think what most people are attracted to is authenticity.
Yeah,
and
genuine.
You being genuine about who you are, what you do.
Yes.
Like, even the most corporate, like oldest, out there, like in the box, white dude or whatever, could be like, oh, I want some of that. Like, whatever that dude's doing, like, I want some
exactly.
Of that. And so it's like, dude, just be you, man. Because people want the authenticity, they want the realness, they want just be you and whatever it is you're doing, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
I appreciate you guys inviting me out, man.
No, definitely,
we've been going long.
Oh, definitely. No, it's not a
problem. Talk forever.
We can do 3 hours.
We're going to have to do,
That's why Anthony was like, man, I'm hearing, hey, you guys want to start at 80? I was like, so in other words, I know he's always game for it, man. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm like the Forrest Gump of South San Diego, man. So I always got like little clips of everything. Like, oh, you want to talk about movies? Whatever. It's like I got a gang of history, and I can go on and on if you let me.
That's why we're gonna get the part 2 with you.
We're gonna get a part 2 in.
Share that. You know what I mean?
So
because we're just tapping in, just scratching the surface, man.
And we're an hour and 45 minutes, and then we're barely even scratching the surface.
Yeah, we're just getting into the book.
That's why I try to tell people. That's why I try to tell people. Well, I'm only, I know Tony got things to do, but like we're really not on the time limit as well. As long as we can get some good conversation and organic conversation, we want it to make it feel like we're sitting with a bunch of friends, man. We don't want to just make it feel like anything else, you know what I mean? Natural.
To me, it's like, bro, like, because it's so close and it's so, like, we're all just connected together like that. So, dude, we can always do part 2, whatever. Just jump in and have conversations or whatever.
I think we got a great first one of just let people know where you're going, and then get the ebook going. We'll start, how should I say, promoting that with you as well. You know what I mean? Do what we can do.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build this to somebody put something new out. We want to promote it as well. You know, somebody does anything from music, media, business, clothing. That's the basis of what we're trying to hit. If you notice, we don't have any cannabis on the underline no more. So we don't, because we used to have the weed, so forth and so forth. But, being more of a neutral brand, it just, we've been embraced more, and even with the squeaky lips and everything else, you know what I mean? People get, like, what's that? But people want it. Like yesterday, we're at the event, man. These guys, you got everybody from old to young wearing the stuff.
Lady in the wheelchair.
I'm filming the lady in the wheelchair. Like she flies by, and I'm like, and I'm like, wow, there it goes. But it feels good, like he says, it feels good to know that what we build, as far as what he built and me helping him, you know what I'm saying, get the merch out and get everything, that people are putting on when they were just like, well, I'm wearing this already. No, they were putting on what they were wearing already. And I'm like, bro, you got a gang of people. I must have counted like 20-something people.
Least,
out there.
just in line. Just in line. Just when we got in line, there was about, I was part of it. Look, he got a strict lid. That guy in the front. Look, he had the sweater. He had the hoodie.
There's like 3 or 4 girls walking past. I'm like, they're all wearing strict lids. So I was like, dang it, what did you, you know? So it's cool to know that it's being built. And even though people don't know it yet, the brand alone is already captivating everybody's attention. You know what I mean? So, but they don't even know how much positive moves you're making right now. You know?
Appreciate
you know,
keep it going, man.
Appreciate that,
thing,
man.
man.
But we appreciate you coming with us today, sitting down with us.
Yeah, man.
You know, next time we need some coffee and donuts. You know,
you know, we have to bring the coffee next time.
You know,
bring burritos or something. Have a taquero right there in the front.
Yeah. Sponsor the taco truck. Dude, but you know, shout out to like, because I know you guys embraced, you know, like the crew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So last time I was in here, you had Mike Ski and Paco and everyone. So. Shout out to Paco and Reason doing their thing too. You know?
Yeah, man.
Paco's always like my go-to. Like every time I do like something first, I'm like, "Hey, Paco, check this out." And like we do that with each other. You know, he's like, "Dude, check out this beat. Let me know what you know." And so we're always kind of going back and forth.
Push each other forward, man.
And, you know, and even like supporting Sonny's like solo project.
That's what I'm saying. We would like to have everybody on here doing what we're doing. Man. We know that's why we showed up to the Love Thy Neighbor. We was there as well. I mean, the Love Thy Homie.
The Love Thy Homie,
we were all there, man. We all bought tickets for it. We showed up. We were there too. So anything you guys do, man, we trying to be a part of it as well. You know what I mean? Just to show how supportive we are on our aspect. And like I told you, if we don't show up when we throw things, people aren't going to show up to us, bro. So we got to show up for them in order for them to show up for us.
In order to get support, you got to give support.
Exactly, man. Yeah, you got to be there.
And it's a beautiful thing, man, to see everyone kind of come together. And I hope we can do more of it.
Yes. You know, I think it's just the beginning steps, man, to what we're going to be progressing to.
I'm looking to those flag football games. I take a day off of work to go on a Friday.
They do it every other Friday. They're in there doing stuff. Dude, they got a lot of like cool like programs and stuff, but they're always looking for more. And so like, man, we'll talk about getting into the juvenile hall system and all that.
Yes, we want to discuss all those things and you know, future endeavors if we can. Like I said, you know, whatever you need me in part of or the crew part of, add it to the list, man. You know what I mean?
We'll be doing, like I said, we're going to be doing a music video soon for some stuff for the Sunny project, Sunny Dread. We're doing one with Ray Riley.
Nice.
So that'll be dope. And that's also like keeping in the family. Mike's nephew. And we'll be doing that at the Soap Factory.
Dope.
So you know I'll be letting you guys know on that. You guys can come out to support that. That was my background was video. Production. I did some directing and that stuff too. So you know I was the producer for POD's first the DVD that came out, Still Paying Dues. So you know it's cool, man, to kind of take it,
go back and reflect. You were doing this stuff when nobody was thinking about doing it. You know what I mean? So you were, you know, he was game changing.
Over 30 years now. I'm about 30 years. More or less.
We're doing documentaries and DVDs and all that stuff. But you know, shout out to Paco and Reason too. They got that project that they worked on together. And the Reason just got a new project that he just put out. Sonny's got a project. So, you know, I want to try to help support everyone else too. And
the circle is moving, man.
Even like the homie Dentlock out doing like his murals and stuff. Like we did that Rey Mysterio mural.
Nice.
And this was probably, I want to say like 2 years ago, man. Like I did an event called Love Thy Neighborhood, and so part of that, like it was like a huge community cleanup. So I did San Isidro, South San Diego, Chula Vista, and National City. So we had groups out cleaning up the neighborhood.
Oh, that's
and
great,
it was like,
man.
How much can we do within like from
Certain
8 a.m.
time.
to 2 p.m., you know? And so part of that was urban beautification. I was like, let's get some murals out and let's do some stuff. So down here on Palm Avenue.
I remember those. I remember that. They're still up too. They're still up. Man, no one tagged over it. Nothing like that, man. It's been clean.
That's respect.
And so we did some stuff in National City. And so I reached out to Dentlock and he was like, dude, I'll find a wall and like, let's do something. What do you want to do? And then he told me he found, it was Bruno's Market at the time. It was like a huge wall. And I was like, dude, I'd reached out to the Chicano Park steering committee about doing a Lucha Libre mural at Chicano Park. But, you know, they act funny. So I was like, let's not do it out there. Let's figure out something else. So he found this wall, and so we threw a couple bucks at it, and like, here, let's buy some paint. And what else do you need? And so he did this first like Rey Mysterio mural.
Nice.
And so it was like the whole dynasty of the whole family, like
Dope.
The son,
cool.
him, the uncle, and so we're like, dude, this is dope.
Game changer.
And we heard that somebody bought the building, and we're like, dude, before something happens with it, like let's get Rey Mysterio Sr. and let's get Conan to come out. We did like a little like mural unveiling, and
nice.
a bunch of fans came out. We did this thing, right? And so like, dude, like weeks later, somebody painted over that wall.
Oh man! I think I saw that on the news.
Yeah, it was on the
news. Yeah, I think I saw that on the news. I remember that.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So what we did was he found another wall, and so he teamed up with the Soap Factory guys and all that stuff, and so we're able to kind of bring that idea back to life.
Nice.
And so we did this huge mural, and so it was like the icons of like San Diego, Tijuana.
Oh yeah.
And everyone that kind of studied under Rey Mysterio Sr. And so back when Rey Mysterio Sr. was running shows here in San Diego, he had asked me if I would referee, and then he would turn me into a character.
Yeah.
And so my referee name was Jefe.
I remember the referee. Yeah, I remember that.
So we were doing these like shows, but like I was a character. So like, they taught me how to referee and take a bump and how to get hit and how to look, the part.
Yeah.
And so so it was cool, man. It was a cool time. I was learning all that, but out of respect for Rey Mysterio Sr. and everything he did, and Ray Jr., the Ray we know that went to school with us, we're like, dude, like let's give them their flowers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so and getting to know like Conan and all these guys, like Conan like set everything in motion. Like Conan was like the backbone of like the reason that you see Lucha Libre in the United States today was because of Conan.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm saying he lives in Chula Vista.
Yeah.
And so we did this mural, and then Dentlock threw me in there as the referee.
Nice.
And so I'm
That's
on
dope.
this wall being like immortalized.
That's cool.
So he threw
much respect.
He threw POD and Mad One up on the top, like as if they're performing WrestleMania 22.
Yeah.
And so it was all the idea, like, because what I wanted to do was tell the story was like, Rey Mysterio had hit me up when he was with WCW, and he had said, dude, I need some music for my theme music.
Right.
And so I'd gotten this group I was working with at the time, Ill Harmonics. And so we did a little music video for him, whatever. And then he hits me up again. He's like, yo, Conan wants to do something. And so I was like, well, for Conan, we need something like Chicano.
Right.
And so I'd showed him the video we just did for Mad One.
Yeah. And
he was like, I want that. Like, I want to roll with that dude. I want to do something. So we did two videos with Mad One and Conan.
Nice.
And so, like, just telling that story, like, me and Mad One were able to go to Halloween Havoc and watch that video that we did.
Yeah.
That we shot in National City in Chicano Park on, like, a worldwide, like, screen. You know what I'm saying? We're like, the world is seeing this right now. Like,
that's great.
Something we did in our neighborhood is, like, being...
Accomplishments, man.
Yeah, so we were like, dude,
dope.
this is dope, right? So, like, I was just kind of trying to tell that story of, like, dude, like, let's connect the dots. And then, like, Ray had hit me up, and he wanted to do something with POD, and I happened to be at the Atlantic Records office.
Right.
And so I was like, dude, I'm right here with them right now. We could make something happen.
Yeah.
And that's how the remix, he wanted to remix the Booyaka song.
Okay.
And so that's how that came about. And then so they did WrestleMania 22, and so I had him paint it on there.
Dope.
Yeah.
And so it was one side of the wall is like his parents. His dad had just passed away. Then we had Eddie Guerrero as Black Panther on there, and then Perrito Guayo from TJ that he passed away. So I had him do like kind of like a memorial thing.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's tight.
And then that's where they put me in as referee. And the other one was just like the icon.
We'll have to go check that out, man.
Yeah, it's dope. But shout out to Dentlock. I'm trying to do a couple more projects with him too, and do some murals in the Juvenile Hall with him.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
But just shout out to everyone that's doing their projects. You know what I'm saying? Mad One, he's got some stuff that's coming out. And Mad One's been like dear to my heart too. You know what I'm saying?
I know he works with my boy DJ Seaman Rock all the time too. So they're always doing something. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah,
we're all connected somehow, man.
Yeah. So just want to shout everyone out, man.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's got stuff going on.
No, and look out for them too, though. Everybody he's named, you know what I mean? Go ahead and follow them and look out for all their endeavors, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure 2026, everybody has a whole list of itinerary that they're gonna get done on there. You know what I'm saying? For real,
definitely.
And I'm proud of everyone doing something, man. Like, so to me, it's like, you know, when I say like my first words in my book, like it's not about you, like I really have to learn that, and I really have to mean it,
right?
You know, so so like when I talk about doing podcasts, like I want to promote my stuff, but it's not about me. I want to promote everyone else's stuff too, and that I've been doing that for 20 years, promoting other people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, I really want to be about it. Like,
you're not selfish. You're about the community, man. You're about not just like you said what you got, but I think what it is like me, like Anthony. We talk about everybody else's stuff, and then ours a short time a day. Right. It's like okay, because we want to put that out for everybody. That's how we feel.
I mean, as just a human, like as a man, like my favorite subject is me. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about but you gotta kind of knock yourself off that high horse to understand. Like, it's not about you. It never has been. And once you get past that, your life changes, bro. Like,
that's it.
When you're doing stuff for others. Man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It feels good too to do stuff for others, man. It feels good.
So thank you guys, man, for your time.
Definitely, man. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, man.
We really appreciate we really appreciate your time, and you know what I'm saying. Like I said, we've only scratched the surface.
We'll be back for part 2 for sure, dude. We'll be back for part 2. Once your book drops, I'll be back and talk about whatever else you got going on since you know at that point. But thanks for coming by.
Shout out to everybody too, man. That he's like I said, been in network with. You know, shout out to all the people that you've been dealing with and leveling up with. You know what I'm saying over the years. So make sure, like I said, to go follow them as well. Follow Ruben on all platforms. You got IG, Facebook. You got
Ruben Torres on all. Or Love That Neighbor. LTM. LTM movement.
And I just I never had TikTok before, but I just did one for the book. Moses Factor.
There it is.
Okay.
Moses Factor TikTok.
Check it out there. Moses Factor on TikTok.
So go on Amazon. It should be coming out pretty soon.
The ebook will be on Amazon February 25th. And it'll be available paperback and hard copy on March 22nd.
There it is.
There it is.
Make sure to get your pre-order
get your books at.
You know what I mean?
And that's it. We'll wrap it up here. We'll come back with Ruben on a future episode.
Oh yeah, we're getting part 2.
So So thanks for everybody for joining in.
With him.
Yeah, we're staying connected with Ruben Torres for sure. Definitely connected with Ruben Torres. So thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yes.
Thank you YouTube Live for tuning in.
Sick.
Thanks for Ruben. A shout out Fade and wamz and Ellie.
The homes I couldn't make it.
Couldn't make it in today. Called in sick.
Shout out to Tony for him saying, like I said, holding down the compound.
Next time.
Strictly Lit, you know what I'm saying? Going ahead and sponsoring the whole thing. So make sure to follow them as well. Strictly Lit Spirits.
Yes, sir.
Until the next time.
Yes, sir. Man. For Tony, I'm E-Rock, and thanks again to Ruben Torres for stopping by.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you, man. Blessings. Till the next time.